Can we all simply agree that just relying on the internet for everything absolutely isn't the best idea of how to go about things? Like, obviously, this whole PlayStation situation with the servers being down, it's slowly getting back up. I can log into Genshin, which is good, but I can't log into WUA, so damn me getting Jinshi, I guess. But when it comes down to it, though, it's still like, you know, a situation that shouldn't have to happen. I remember back in the day, back in my day, I remember when you just bought a game, you put that bitch in, and then boom, there you go, just instant game. But that's not how it works now. I remember playing the PS4, getting Final Fantasy 15. I was like, oh, time to boot this up. Only to be greeted by a download cycle. And I was like, what is this? And so I was perplexed. I was confused. And to this day, I still feel very confused. Why does the game not come through with the fullest of the game, and then only for that to basically be like, you know, half the game, or barely even the game to be played when it comes down to it? I never understood it. I don't understand why the game just can't be all in the dang disc and call it a day. It's just a bit weird. And then, even if you have the disc now, still, you can't play the games that you want to play because weird disk drive PlayStation shenanigans. Much less if you have a digital console, an all digital console, then you super cooks because you basically just got a dang $500 paperweight, $700 paperweight at times, because you can't do anything. You gotta restore the license. Well, how do I restore the license? By basically like going through PlayStation servers and going through the settings and trying to restore it. But oh boy, you can't do that because it's still part of PSN. Trash. All of it is just trash. And keep in mind as well, this outage that we have been through is the second biggest outage, at least from what I've been seeing, because I think in 2011 there was like an outage that lasted for like a whole month basically, and that is crazy. And the fact that something like this is still happening, and then you're probably thinking as well, just like, well, it's just a simple outage for a day, it can't be that dang bad. That's true. But then you gotta realize the people that wants to play PlayStation probably can't necessarily do it, and especially the people that pay the money for these, you know, subscription services and premiums and all that type of stuff just to, you know, have the online access of multiplayer and things like that, which is a dumb thing. Don't necessarily agree with the fact that you gotta pay just to play multiplayer. That's a bit dumb. It just really doesn't make any type of sense. But when it comes down to it though, still, you have those people that is basically effectively wasting their money and effectively their time because they can't get back into, again, the game that they want to get into. Which, honestly, it'll be a bit better if you just, you know, do away with the system. Just do away with the system of the whole, you know, gotta pay to play online when it comes down to like multiplayer and stuff like that. Got away with that system, you'll be fine. You'll be cooking, honestly. That would be the most peak thing that they can absolutely do. But they're not gonna do that because they're just stingy like that, and it's a damn shame. But when it comes down to it though, that's literally how it should be. Just don't have that part of it at all. Right? And then even with that as well, it still just doesn't necessarily, like, even if you had like just everything back up in order, that still doesn't necessarily solve the whole ass issue. How do you prevent shit like this to happen again? What even caused this in the first place? Because they still haven't said exactly what caused the issue, and if it is something pretty serious and pretty crazy, they're not gonna say it out loud. They're never gonna say it out loud. Like, if I had to speculate, and plenty of people have, it seems to be people thinking that this could be a hacking situation, or this could be some type of DDoS or whatever. My speculative thinking, I was seeing some videos where people were talking about like how Sony in California started releasing some PlayStation people, like laying them off or whatever, and maybe there could have been some heat in there that could have caused this to happen. Maybe that was the reason as to why, but at the very same time, who really knows? At least that's in my brain. I just assume, oh, somebody got laid off and they're pissed, so they just said screw the whole dang server, and then that's exactly what happened. I like to imagine it would be something funny like that, honestly, instead of just whatever the hell that could potentially have been, right? So at least that's my brain of how I think things could go. But overall, still, it just, again, it goes to show you that you really shouldn't just rely heavily on an all digital future. And if Sony really wanted to go into that department of just doing nothing, physical, but it goes straight digital, this is a clear reason why you shouldn't just up and go ahead and do that. Especially when, that's the only way to access a certain piece of media and a certain thing. Like, no, that doesn't make any type of sense. If I was somebody that was definitely, caring about games and such, I would definitely go ahead and buy my games physically instead of just always opting out the digital option for convenience sake. Because, yeah, sure, it might take up some space, but at least no one's gonna come to your home and snatch your latest copy of Booty Warriors or something like that to come through and then finesse you for that like they would through your digital library. Which I don't know what Booty Warriors is, but that sounds like an epic ass game. Somebody in Japan needs to make it. But yeah, just overall, again, physical media is important. Game preservation is important. And if you don't really think it is, again, just look at this current situation, how mad you was that you couldn't log on to anything PlayStation wise, for real, and essentially really think about it for 5 seconds and just feel how cooked you are. And then you come back and tell me, oh, this shit ain't important, because it absolutely is. But yeah, that's, I guess, what I really wanted to say for this one. So hopefully you did enjoy. Let me know how y'all getting through this dang rough ass time, a bit of it, at least if you don't have it up yet, because some people have reported that they got it up, some people haven't. I don't necessarily know. I can log in again to a lot of my games, and Genshin especially, but not Wuwa and ZZZ for whatever reason. So that's a bit shit, but hopefully that'll get resolved soon, and whatever the hell I gotta do, because I'm not trying to sit here and not miss out on any of those games. But that's just for me though, so hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification everywhere else. Also follow on socials and listen to the channel. Kofi Chef is available as well. And until then, Outage, signing off. Have a blessed day.